friends, it's Esther here on Keeping House, and I cannot believe we are already 5 weeks into this series on My House is Always Clean. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. We are in the 3rd week of the month now, and I just want to give you some encouragement. Last week was a heavy week of chores. It was a lot to get through, and it can really wear you out. So what I try to do is make the next week a little bit less. The 3rd week is probably our easiest week of the month. There are not very many chores. We do the bathrooms. Ick, I hate cleaning the bathrooms. And so it's the only big chore I have this whole week. The other chores are pretty simple. None of them take a significant amount of time or a significant amount of work. They don't require special tools or gadgets or anything like that. It's just some simple things to kind of recover from the busy week of last week and to let us get the bathrooms clean this week. You may think some of them are a little bit odd, but I like to do maintenance on my things, like cleaning my brewer. I feel like cleaning the brewer and the grinder regularly help them from getting too much buildup and breaking earlier than they need to. So that's why I do some of these little chores I do that don't necessarily take a ton of time, but I think upkeep the product. I'm excited to continue this process. Come on, let's go clean together. On Tuesdays, I clean the things we drink hot drinks out of, so our grinder, our brewer, and our teapot. This is just a way to keep the buildup from getting bad and keep them in good working condition. Your brewer should have instructions on how to clean it. The other two you could just take apart and clean the parts. You can break the brewer down even more than I did, but I think sometimes it wears out the little knobs and can break them over time, so I do that, but I do it infrequently. I am the clumsiest person on the planet, and I have broken my coffee pot twice. So yes, I am just using a Pyrex container, and I have to push up on the little thing that lets the coffee out. Of course, you can't submerge the base in water, so you just need to wipe it down as best you can, and then I use the little brush from the scoop and a paring knife to get all the gunk buildup out. This is my go-to cleaning bucket that I use for everything, and I have one sponge for toilets and one sponge for sinks and shower. So the first chore is cleaning the sinks and countertop. I like to scrub them down and then wipe off the excess and then wipe them down so they're dry. This seems to be the fastest and cleanest way for me to have them shiny and looking great. I also use this opportunity to clean off my soap containers so that the soap buildup can get washed off of them when I clean the bathrooms. And I scrub hard and I count to 50 on the worst parts of my sink that don't want to get clean. The second chore on Thursdays is cleaning the toilets, and I sprayed the toilet bowls down before I started cleaning the sinks. I use dish soap to clean out the inside and outside of my bucket, my cleaning bottle, and my sink because I use these for everything and I don't want toilet grossness in everything that I clean. So I always take the time to do this after I clean the toilets. As you may remember, I update my budget every Friday. But on the third Friday of the month, I create the budget for the following month. I create a new spreadsheet, figure out what I'm going to allocate to each account, and I pay my bills for the month. This way, I never pay anything late. And lastly, for the week, on Saturdays, I clean the front of the dishwasher. Today, I used my Fly Lady purple cloth. Sometimes I use a regular dishcloth, and sometimes I use rubbing alcohol. It all depends upon what I have handy at the time. Well, we did it. Week 3 of the month, and our house is mostly clean. Remember, this is not for perfect cleanness, but for cleanness that's good enough to live in. So it may be that your carpet's starting to collect some lint up in the bedrooms, and that's okay. But I want to remind you also that this isn't going to work 100% of the time. So it may be that you washed your sliding glass door on Friday, and then Saturday morning your kids made mud pies out in the yard and came banging on the window with their muddy little hands. Or it may be that you were in making lunch and you came out and your child emptied their puff container on the ground and stomped on it. Like, you obviously need to clean those things up along the way, but for the most part, the frequency should be enough that the little bit of buildup that happens over time you can take care of the next time it comes around on your chore cards. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.